tonight's volleyball matchup featuring the Southwest Minnesota State University Mustangs and your Minnesota State University Mavericks. And national reading of our NSIC Sportsmanship Creed. Tonight will be read by Maverick freshman James Sagowitz.
The NCAA and NSIC encourage and promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask that you cheer for your team and be respectful of the opponent. As Division II student athletes, support a diverse and inclusive environment and will commit to fair play, responsibility, and respect. We invite you to support our effort. Go Mavs!
All right, fans, at this time, in honor of our flag and country and in recognition of those who serve and protected, we ask that everyone please rise, remove all headwear, and turn your attention to the Stars and Stripes for the playing of our national anthem. the Mustangs.
On Minnesota State. Point Southwest Minnesota State. Alright. Back to serve Reese. Taken there by Veldman. Back set to Olsen. Olsen floats one over. Blocked. Mavericks reset. Porter floats one over. Mustangs with the attack. Darby up to Olsen. Now the Mustangs. Reese. Porter up to Feldman, off the block, controlled by Reese. Now set on the far side and blocked. Morgan Olsen with the block for the Mavericks. Checking in now for Minnesota State, number 7, Lauren Lowry, and she's back to serve for the Mavericks. Taken there by Reese. Set on the far side. Number 18, Angela Young hits it long. Point Mavericks. Lowry floats one short, and Lauren Lowry with the ace for Mavericks. Timeout, Mustangs. Out of that Southwest Minnesota State timeout, Lauren Lowry back to serve for the Mavericks. They have a 5-point lead in this first set. Dug up there, back set. Mavericks with the overpass. Mustangs reset. Set for Meg Schmidt, and that goes wide. Point Mavericks. Lowry still back to serve. Dug there. Back set. Schmidt is blocked. Joey Feldman there for Minnesota State. Mavericks up to 7-point lead now. Lowry is still serving. Back set to Reese. Out of the back row. Taylor Reese with the kill for the Mustangs. Able to stop the bleeding. Checking in now for Southwest Minnesota State. And back to serve. Number 7, Peyton Jurid. Jurid serves. Taken there by Garby. Back set to Nissa Janzig. That gets blocked. Minnesota State in the net there. Point Mustangs. Jurlid still serving now for Southwest Minnesota State. She sends it into the net. Point Mavericks on the service there by the Mustangs. Now number 20, Joey Feldman, back to serve. And Feldman, that one sails long. Point Mustangs. Now back to serve now. Meg Schmidt for the Mustangs. Taken there by Garby. Set up to Garby. Off hands. Controlled there by Burmeister. In the middle, off of Lowry. Feldman trying to get after it, and she cannot get to it there for the Mavericks. Point Mustangs. Schmidt still serving. Taken there by Garby. Lowry back to Garby. Dug there by Burmeister. Set on the far side. And Angela Young with the kill there for the Mustangs. Taken there by Quam. Lowry backs up to Schindler. Dug up there. Burmeister up to Young. Young pulls one over. Garby there for the Mavericks. Back up to Garby. Roll shot. Controlled there by Reese. Over to Young. Young's blocked. Mustangs are there. Stepping up to Young. And this is Janzing. Up to Schindler. Schindler sends it over. Mustangs reset. Dug up there by Lowry. Now Quam over to Garby. Garby off hands. And Garby with the kill for the Mavericks. A good rally there. Mavericks end up getting the point. Now number 16, and Nissa Janzig back to serve for Minnesota State. Taken there by Burmeister. Thompson. Back set to Smith, and Serena Smith with the kill there for the Mustangs. Checking the game for Southwest Minnesota State, now number 2, Sydney Ampetet. And Ampetet back to serve. Taken there by Quam. Lowry, set up to Garby. Will be a Garby with the attack. Controlled by the Mustangs. Over to Reese, and Taylor Reese with the kill.
All right.
Point Mustangs. Amtevet back to serve. Taken there by Garby. Lowry back to Garby. Garby floats one over. Diving dig there by the Mustangs. Up to Reese. Dug up by Quam. Out of the back row, Feldman. And Feldman hits long.
All right, sir.
Point Mustangs. The Mustangs are within 1 now. They were down 7, now within 1. On to bet with the ace. Southwest Minnesota State comes back up to tie it at 12 in this first set.
All right.
On to bet still serving. Taken there by Garvey. Lowry backs up to Schindler, tight to the net. And Schindler is blocked by Reese. Mustangs took a 13-12 lead. Taken there by Garvey. Lowry up to Garvey. Garvey roll shot. Dug up by Reese. Set in the middle. Blocked. Mustangs reset. Reese has float one over. Taken there by Kwong. Lowry up to Garvey. Good dig there, but out of play. Olivia Garvey with the kill there for the Mavericks. Even this one back up at 13 is number 12, Michaela Porter back in the game. And she's back to serve for the Mavericks. Dug up by Burmeister. Back set. Good dig by Kwong. Now to Olsen, off hands. And Morgan Olsen with the kill for Minnesota State. Porter still serving for the Mavericks. Taken there by Burmeister. Set by Thompson sends one over. Mavericks ready for it. Olsen plays it off Reese. And she gets the kill there for the Mavericks. Good play by her. Minnesota State back in the lead now. Up by 2. Michaela Porter continues to serve now for the Mavericks. Dug there. Send the far side for Reese. Kwong. Porter up to Garvey. Garvey roll shot. Unable to control it there, the Mustangs. Point Mavericks. Quickly back up by 3. And timeout, Southwest Minnesota State. Out of the timeout. Michaela Porter serving for the Mavericks. Taken there by Burmeister. Thompson. Mustangs send it over. Porter sends it deep. Mustangs are there. Now set up at the far side for Reese, and Reese gets blocked. Morgan Olsen with the block for the Mavericks. By Ontivet. Thompson over to Reese. Reese roll shot. Taken there. Back set. Olsen. Morgan Olsen. Big right hand. Back to back kills for her. Mavericks extend their lead to 5 now in this first set. Porter continuing to serve. Floats one short this time. Off the tape. Dug up by Reese. Thompson for Smith. Serena Smith with the kill there for the Mustangs. Able to stop the bleeding. Number 8, Kaylee Burmeister. Back to serve for Southwest Minnesota State. Off the tape. And Burmeister with the ace. Scarby couldn't handle it. Burmeister once again back to serve for the Mustangs. Taken there by Beltman. Porter for Lee. Lee gets blocked. Mavericks unable to control it. Point Mustangs. Burmeister still serving. Service there on Burmeister, sent it into the net. Point Mavericks. Now number 5, Olivia Garby, back to serve for Minnesota State. Taken there by Burmeister. Thompson back set to Reese. Off hands. Taylor Reese with the kill there for the Mustangs. Now back to serve for Southwest Minnesota State, number 5, Emma Thompson. Taken there by Kwon. Porter, the middle for Olsen. Mustangs with the overpass. Back set to Olsen again. Olsen floats one over. Blocked. Set up for Olsen. Off hands, controlled there by the Mustangs. Thompson up to Reese. Reese float shot. Now Kwon. For Garby on the back row, dug up by the Mustangs. Burmeister back to Reese again. Diving dig there by Kwong, and Bellman with the roll shot over. Burmeister back to Thompson. And point Mustangs, and the Mavericks are in the net. But wow, if you go back to that dig, what an effort by Mara Kwong. Mustangs still serving. That just misses the line. Service there on the Mustangs. Point Mavericks.
Yeah. Screen over here.
Now back to serve for Minnesota State. Number 11, Mara Kwong. Dug up. Thompson trying to set it tight to the net. Point Mavericks. This Mustangs couldn't get it over. Minnesota State 4 points away from taking this first set. Guam still serving. Dug up by Reese. Thompson on the far side. Mustangs able to send it over. Back set to Olsen. Off hands. And down. Morgan Olsen with the kill. Guam trying to float one short, and that was unable to make it over the net. Point Mustangs. Off the Guam serve. Taylor Reese. And Anissa changing with the kill for the Mavericks. Now back into the game for Minnesota State, number 7, Lauren Lowry, and she's back to the service line for the Mavericks. Over to Young. Young plays it off hands and out of play on the far side. Point Mustangs. Now back to serve for Southwest Minnesota State, number 7, Peyton Jerlick. Taken there by Beltman. Free, able to get to Beltman. Controlled there by the Mustangs, and Young sends one over. Off of Garby. Garby has to flow one over the back row. Diving dig by Reese. Garby. Quam with a great effort. Mavericks unable to get it though. Point Southwest Minnesota State. Good hustle there to the Mavericks. Miss Kwon giving it her all back there. Number 9, Meg Schmidt. Dug up by Veltman. Lowry over to Schindler. Off hands. Controlled there by Thompson. Burmeister over to Young. Young blocked. Burmeister there. Thompson
Good.
tries Schmidt.
All right.
And Smith is wide. Mavericks with the point. And the Mavericks take the first set. 25-22. Quick side change. We're back in 3 minutes for the second set. Stats from the first set. Leaders in kills for Southwest Minnesota State. Taylor Reese and Serena Smith both had 4 kills. And for the Minnesota State Mavericks, Morgan Olson had 5. Olson was in at a 4.55 percentage split. And for assists, Emma Thompson led the Mustangs with 13 as Michaela Porter led the Mavericks with 10. And for digs, Mara Quam had 10 for the Mavericks. Kaylee Burmeister had 5 for Southwest Minnesota State. Back in the second set, Mustangs take the first point as Antibet serving. Porter, middle for Olsen, and Olsen with the big right hand. Gets the kill there for the Mavericks. Now number 5, Olivia Garvey back to serve. Taken there by Burmeister. Thompson over to Reese, off hands, and Taylor Reese with the kill for the Mustangs. Number 8, Gailey Burmeister back to serve for Southwest Minnesota State now. Dug there by Quam. Back set to Olsen, off hands. Morgan Olsen with the kill for Minnesota State. It's number 11, Mark Quam, back to serve for the Mavericks. Pulls one short, dug up there by Lyer. In the middle for Reese. Reese catches the line. Point Mustangs. Now back to serve for Southwest Minnesota State, number 5, Emma Thompson. Dug up there by Garvey. Back set to Olsen. Good dig there by Thompson. Lear able to send one over. Dug up by Garvey. Up to Veldman. Veldman off hands. Diving dig by the Mustangs. Burmeister sets up Schmidt. Diving dig there by Porter. Now to Veldman again. Veldman roll shot. Reese is there. Now Thompson up to Reese. Reese floats one over. Quam. Porter able to float one over. And the thumb shot goes. Michaela Porter with the kill. This Mustangs are unable to control it. Now number 7, Lauren Lowry back in the game. The Mavericks, and she's back to the service line. Dug up by Reese. Thompson. Up to Schmidt. Schmidt gets blocked. Reese there. Up to Schmidt again. That's gets sent to the net. Point Mavericks. Now the Mavericks take a 4-3 lead early in this second set. Minnesota State Mavericks took that first set 25-22 over the Mustangs. And now lead 4-3 in this second set. Lowry still serving. Taken there by Reese. Now back to Reese from Thompson. Dug up there by Garvey. Lowry tight to the net. Feldman trying to contort her body, but unable to get it. Point Mustangs. Now back to serve, number 1, Taylor Reese. Taken there by Garvey. Lowry in the middle for Janzig. And 4 contacts on the Mavericks. Point Mustangs. Reese back to serve again. Dug up by Feldman. Lowry back to Feldman, off hands. And Joey Feldman gets the kill. Number 20, Joey Feldman, back to serve now for the Mavericks. Dug up by Reese. Thompson over to Young. Young off hands and down. Angela Young with the kill for the Mustangs. Now back into the game for Southwest Minnesota State. Number 7, Peyton Derlin. She's back to serve. Dug up. By Kwam up to Garvey. Garvey float shot. Mustangs cover it. And send one over. Lowry unable to get to it. As was Garvey. Point Mustangs. Dug there. Floated over by Schindler. Now back set for Schmidt. Mavericks in the net. Point Mustangs. And they extend the lead to 3 in this second set. Checking into the game now for the Mavericks. Number 3, Jane Sakowitz. Now floated in the middle for Janzig. Janzig able to send one over. Reese up to Young. Young floats one over. Lowry able to get to it. Sent over by Schindler. Now back set Thompson for Schmidt. And Schmidt with the kill for the Mustangs. Timeout, Mavericks.
Choose the experts to stand for hotel of the NSIC, call for special NSIC fan rates. Sterling Trophy Awards and Engraving, the official awards and engraving provider of the NSIC. SPM Sports, specializing in sports and event photography, graphic design, science banners, wall wraps, and more. And finally, Volleyball, the official volleyball of the NSIC.
Out of the timeout, number 7, Peyton Jerlin, serving for the Mustangs. So they lead at 9-5 in this second set. Jerlin with the ace. And Sakowitz couldn't control it there for the Mavericks. Point Mustangs. Jerlin continuing to serve now. Taken there by Garvey. Back set for Schindler. Blocked. Mavericks able to keep it alive, and free ball sent over by Kwam. Thompson over to Young, dug up by Sakowitz. Sent in the middle, another free ball by Kwam, sent it deep. Reese there, Thompson in the middle. For Smith, and Serena Smith with the kill for the Mustangs. Dug up by Garby. Right back to Garby. Off hands. And point Mustangs off the block. Southwest Minnesota State just rolling in this second set. Up by 7 now. As Jurlin continues to serve. Dug up by Guam. Up to Garby now. Garby float shot. Controlled by the Mustangs. Thompson. Back set. And Schmidt hits wide. Mavericks able to take a breather there. Now back to serve for the Minnesota State Mavericks. Number 16, and Nessa Janze. Dug up by Reese. Thompson. Up to Schmidt. Off hands. Controlled by Feldman. Now sent up. Garby has to float one long. Backs it to Schmidt again. Off hands. Mavericks trying to get the pancake, but they're unable to as that hits the floor. Boeing Mustangs. Now back to serve with Mustangs. Number 9, Meg Schmidt. Dug up by Feldman. Lowry up to Garby. Garby off the block. And point Mustangs. Mavericks use their second timeout as they're down by 8 in this second set.
We now offer local marketing servicing. Contact CU Direct for Volleyball needs. Also, fans experience Burnsville, Minnesota for your next family, business, or shopping outing. Stay in one of Burnsville's award-winning hotels and enjoy dozens of restaurants and shopping options. Burnsville is your destination for Twin Cities fun. Visit BurnsvilleLMN.com. Fans, also don't forget the MSC Volleyball team will be awarding one lucky fan as tonight's Fan of the Game. The fan of the game with the most enthusiasm will receive a gift from the MSC Volleyball team for your support. If you want to be fan of the game, make sure to get crazy and cheer on your Mavericks.
Out of the timeout. Meg Schmidt still serving for the Mustangs. Back up to Garby. Off hands, controlled by Reese. Schmidt. And Reese has to pull one over on the back row. Feldman. Now we're up for Lee. Off hands. Diving dig by Burmeister. That goes out of play. Point Mavericks. Back in the game now for Minnesota State. Number 12. Kayla Porter. And she's back to serve for the Mavericks. Looking to get back in this second set as they trail by 7. Just grazes the tape. Reese with the dig. Mustangs call for the double contact. Point Mavericks. Quick timeout by the Mustangs.
Visit NorthernSunOrg.com for stats, weekly awards announcements, and more. Also, fans don't miss the NSIC Radio Spotlight presented by Experience Burnsville. Listen in as we highlight NSIC student athletes and their accomplishments each week. Find out what spotlights and plays are in our area by visiting NorthernSun.org/spotlight. Hey fans, if you are age 13 years and younger and enjoy gathering athletic events, join the Junior Mavericks Club, sponsored by Wells Fargo for only $30. Your membership will give you
Another timeout, number 12. Michaela Porter serving for the Mavericks. Down by 6 in this second set, taken by Burmeister. Thompson up to Schmidt. And Serena Smith with the kill. Back in the game now for the Mustangs. Number 2, Sydney Omtibet, and she's back to serve. Taken there by Feldman. Out of play. Omtibet with the ace for the Mustangs. Dug up by Garby. Tight to the net. Saved. Sent over. Now to Reese. And Taylor Reese with the kill for the Mustangs. Quick 3 points out of the timeout. Omtibet still serving. Now to Olsen. Dug up by the Mustangs. Sent over by Reese on hands. Controlled by the Mavericks. Quam up to Garby. Dug up. Thompson up to Reese. And Taylor Reese finding the hole in that Mavericks defense. Mustangs up by 10 now in this second set. Porter back to Lee, dug up by Burmeister. Thompson up to Reese, roll shot, dug up by Feldman. Porter with the dump shot. Mustangs are ready, sent over by Reese now. On the back row, Feldman, dug up. Thompson up to Reese, Reese pushes it deep. Feldman there for the Mavericks. Quam up to Garby, off hands. Controlled by the Mustangs, sent up to Reese. Good dig by Quam. Porter up to Garby, Garby float shot. Mustangs are ready. Reese off tape, controlled by Quam. Back set to Olsen. Sent high up in the air. Burmeister and Reese floats one over. Good rally here. Lee sends one over. Now Smith right back over for the Mustangs. Quam floats it over. Up to Reese. And Taylor Reese able to end that rally with the point for the Mustangs. Dug up by Feldman. Porter up to Garby. Garby float shot. It's down. Olivia Garby with the kill for the Mavericks. Able to stop the bleeding. Now number 5, Olivia Garby back to serve for the Mavericks. Diving dig by Reese, sent over by Smith. Dug up by Garby. Porter up to Feldman. And Feldman down the line with the kill for the Mavericks. Garby still serving, taken by Burmeister. Thompson up to Reese off hands. And Taylor Reese continuing her great night here. Gets the kill for the Mustangs.
Serving for the Mustangs, number 8, Katie Burmeister.
Now back to the Mustangs at the service line, number 8, Kaylee Burmeister. Dug up by Quam. Porter in the middle for Lee. Off hands and controlled by the Mustangs. Up to Reese now. And Taylor Reese with another kill. Burmeister still serving. And Burmeister with the ace as Quam let it go, thinking it was out. That ball is down. Point Mustangs. Southwest Minnesota State up by 12 in the second set. 3 points away now. Porter in the middle for Lee. And Ashton Lee with the kill for the Mavericks.
That's a Mavericks side out. Serving for the Mavericks, number 11, Mark Quam.
Quam Back to serve now for the Mavericks. Off tape and gets the bounce. Mara Kwam with the ace. Mavericks down by 10 now. Taken there by Reese. Thompson in the middle for Reese. Float shot. Overpass. And Reese able to get that second try. Point Mustangs. Now back to serve for Southwest Minnesota State. Number 5, Emma Thompson. Dug up by Garby. Porter in the middle for Janzik. Off hands and down, and this is Janzik with the kill for the Mavericks. Now Lauren Lowry. Back to serve for the Mavericks. Holds one short. Burmeister there. Thompson in the middle for Reese. Float shot. Mixing it up. Taylor Reese with another kill for the Mustangs. And now the set point for Southwest Minnesota State. Reese serving for the Mustangs. Dug up by Veldman. Lowry over to Schindler. Off hands. Burmeister with the dig. Out of the back row. Reese gets it through. And Taylor Reese gets the final kill for the Mustangs as they take that second set 25-13. Tied up at one set apiece. Take a quick break and be back 5 minutes for the third set.
So like if they are like zoom out really wide. So that's it for this camera. And for that camera you have to like focus on their serving. You know?
Okay.
So like that should be in your monitor like from here to there.
Okay.
So that would be the like good shot from the top level. And like while serving, then you can like make it wider. And while they like serve, then you can push forward and like make it a little bit shorter to the length of the neck. That's it, yeah.
Like when the green light up.
Welcome back to President Arena for this third set.
So when it's red, when it turns red, then
Mavericks with the first set 25-22. The Mustangs took the second set 25-13.
starting
Statistics
now.
checked up here. Taylor Reese leads the Mustangs with 15 kills. Morgan Olsen leads the Mavericks with 7 kills. Dishing out all the assists tonight for the Mustangs. Number 5, Emma Thompson with 30. Michaela Porter leads the Mavericks with 16 assists. And Porter getting us underway in this third set. Thompson up to Reese. Reese float shot. Dug up. Set up for Olsen now. And Olsen with the kill. As Thompson couldn't control. Point Mavericks. Now back to serve number 12, Michaela Porter.
Too close.
Dug up by Amtevet. Thompson. Back to Smith. Blocked. Mustangs reset. This time to Reese. Good dig there by Kwam. Porter up to Garby. Off hands. Controlled. Thompson over to Reese again. Mavericks unable to control it. Reese with another kill.
It's easy, like you don't have to like get big shot. Zoom in, zoom out, sometimes focus.
Now back to serve for the Mustangs. Number 8, Bailey Burmeister. Dug up by Garby. Porter in the middle for Olsen. And Morgan Olsen with a big right hand. Gets the kill for the Mavericks.
All of the players.
Now Number 5, Olivia Garvey back to serve with Mavericks. Diving overpass with the Mustangs. Now sent back over. And Southwest Minnesota State gets the point. Now serving for the Mustangs, number 5, Emma Thompson. Put up by Kwon. Porter back set to Lee. Lee floats one over. Mustangs there. Thompson up to Reese. Tight to the net. Sent back over by the Mavericks. One more time for Reese. And Taylor Reese, having a great night for the Mustangs, gets the kill. Thompson still serving. Dug up by Kwon. Porter to Olsen. Off the antenna. Point Mustangs. Thompson continuing to serve now for Southwest Minnesota State. Plays Bellman. Back set to Olsen. Overpass goes out of play. Point Mavericks. Now back to serve for Minnesota State, number 11, Mark Kwon. Dug up by Reese. Back set. For Zoe Lear. Lear gets the kill. Now back to serve for the Mustangs, number 1, Taylor Reese. Dug up by Garvey in the middle for Janzig. Gets to float one over. Burmeister there. Thompson up to Young. Tight to the net. Able to float one over. Garvey sent over by Olsen now. Thompson over to Young. Young off hands. Point Mustangs. Angela Young with the kill. Now Taylor Reese. Back to serve. Once again for the Mustangs. Off Garvey. Set up for Bellman. Has to pull one over. Dug up by Thompson. Burmeister over to Young. Off Kwon. Garvey running after it. Unable to get to it. Point Mustangs. Timeout Mavericks.
When they are about to start, you can just
And they keep sort of getting closer. Like, get out
Out of timeout, number 1, Taylor Reese back to serve for the Mustangs. Dug up by Garvey. Porter back set to Olsen. Floats one over, gets blocked by Ashley Young. Point Mustangs. So they extend the lead up to 5 now in this third set. Tied up at one set apiece. Reese continuing to serve. Off of Garvey. Kwon up to Bellman. Bellman with the hitting error, trying to pull one over. Point Mustangs. Checking in for the Mavericks now, number 18. Haley Shimon. Now Reese, still serving. By Garvey. Porter, over to Olsen, off hands, controlled by Reese. Thompson, over to Schmidt, controlled by the Mavericks. Middle for Janzig, and a miss of Janzig with the kill for the Mavericks. Now back in the game. Mavericks, number 7, Lauren Lowry.
Slowly.
She's back to serve.
Like control, so that there will be no instant zoom.
Play up by Burmeister. Thompson over to Young. Off hands. And actually, Angela Young, excuse me. Angela Young with the kill.
So while the opponent, the team
Now back to serve with the Mustangs, number 7, Peyton Jurlick.
Like not that wide. So they are sort of random, slowly.
Dug up by Shimon. Lowry back to Shimon. Roll shot controlled by Thompson.
No.
Reese over to Young. Blocked. And on the line. Mavericks with the block and the point.
So you zoom out to the white.
Now back to serve for Minnesota State. Number 18, Haley Shimon.
Like this. So up to here.
Service there on the Mavericks, point Mustangs. There's number 9, Meg Schmidt, back to serve for the Mustangs. Dug up by Guam, Lowry in the middle for Janzig. Good transition by the Mavericks, but out of play. Point Mustangs. Dug up by Garvey. Lowry in the middle for Janzig. Off hands. Reese able to save it. Centered by Burmeister. Guam. Lowry. Garvey has to readjust and throw one over. Thompson over to Young. Young throws one over. Diving dig by Lowry. Guam. Up to Schindler. Schindler back row. And now for Smith. Controlled by the Mavericks. In the middle for Janzig. Step back over. Janzig once again. And a miss for Janzig. Second try gets the kill for the Mavericks. Now back to serve for the Mavericks, number 16, Anissa Janzig. Dug up by Burmeister. Thompson over to Young. Dug up by Janzig. Tight to the net. Point Mustangs. The Mavericks unable to control it. Now back to serve, number 2, Sydney Humphrey. Taken by Shimon. Up to Garvey. Garvey gets blocked. And down. Point Mustangs.
Now slowly zooming. Good, fine.
Number 2, Amtabek still serving for the Mustangs. Dug up by Shimon. Lowry. Up to Garvey. Garvey roll shot. Reese unable to get to it. Olivia Garvey with the kill for the Mavericks. Now back in the game, number 12, Michaela Porter. And Porter's back in the service line for the Mavericks.
You can you can zoom in.
Dug up by Amtabet. Now over to Reese. And Taylor Reese. He's given a heavy load tonight. Taking advantage of it with another kill for the Mustangs. Now number 8, Keely Burmeister. Back to serve for Southwest Minnesota State. Dug up by Garvey. Forward in the middle for Lee. And Ashton Lee with that kill. Good find there by Porter. Point Mavericks. Number 5, Olivia Garvey. Heads back to the service line for the Mavericks.
Slowly zooming. Slowly. Slowly.
She sent it away.
Zoom into the length.
Dug up by Amtabet. Thompson back to Reese. Reese all over the place. Kill on the near side. For the Mavericks, he's got to find a way to stop Reese. And she goes everywhere. As Thompson's back to serve. In the middle for Lee. Off hands, control. Thompson. Over to Smith this time. Mavericks able to send a free ball short. Mustangs get to it. Over to Reese. And Reese with an error. As she hits it wide, point Mavericks. Number 11, Amara Kwam. Going back to the service line for the Mavericks.
Slowly zoom. Don't let your like hand get out. Going.
Hey fans, don't forget about junior man youth volleyball playing tomorrow, September 22nd from 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. This is a free event featuring Maverick members. Then join us for a matchup against Sioux Falls at 2 p.m. Hey fans, for those who prefer Domino's Pizza, they offer a mix and match offer for $5.99 each. Choose any two of them, including pizzas, wet twist, salads, marble cookie brownies, specialty chicken, double baked sandwich, stuffed cheesy bread, 8-piece boneless chicken, or pasta in a dish. Each only $5.99. Courtesy Domino's Pizza. Fans MSC Athletics wishes to thank this year's Drive for Success courtesy car participants, Mankato Motor Company, Snell Motors, and SNS Motors. Hey fans, a special shout out goes to the Herd student section for keeping the energy alive and cheering your Mavericks on each and every day.
Out of a quick break. Down referees just making sure everything's all good. We got the green light as Kwam is back to serve for the Mavericks. Taken there by Amsvet. In the middle for Reese. Off of Garvey. And Taylor Reese with another kill for the Mustangs.
Serving for the Mustangs, Taylor Reese.
Reese back to the service line. Send it in the net. Service there on the Mustangs. Point Mavericks. Now number 7, Lauren Lowry, back in the game for the Mavericks, and she's back to the service line. Dug up by Reese. Thompson over to Young, off of Garvey. Janzik has to flow one over. Thompson, back to Young, blocked. Thompson there, sent over by Lear. And point Mustangs. Zoe Lear with the kill.
Serving for the Mustangs, number 7,
Now back to serve, number 7, Peyton Durlin. Dug up by Shimon. Into the net. Point Mustangs. Southwest Minnesota State up by 9 in this third set. Sturlitz still serving. Taken there by Feldman. Lowry up to Feldman, off tape. Controlled by Thompson. Reese up to Schmidt. Controlled by the Mavericks. Back row attack by Garvey. Just hits long. Point Mustangs. Timeout Mavericks.
Fans MSC Athletics would like to thank this year's Mavericks Student Awards Program sponsors, Suntan City, MSC Army ROTC, Domino's Pizza, Volleyball.
Out of the timeout. Mustangs lead the Mavericks 20-10 in this third set. As Sturlitz serves, the middle for Janzik. Janzik finds that back line. Point Mavericks. Now number 20, Joey Feldman. Back to serve for Minnesota State. Dug up by Reese. Thompson, pretty young. Blocked. And this is Janzik. Dana Schindler over there for the Mavericks. Now Feldman. Still serving. Dug up by Reese. Thompson. Over to Young. Angela Young with the kill for the Mustangs. Meg Schmidt serving now for the Mustangs. Taken there by Kwam in the middle for Janzik. Janzik in the net there on the attack. Point Mustangs. Number 9 Schmidt back to serve again. Just 3 points away. Mustangs are taking this third set. In the middle for Janzik, floated over. Blocked. Garvey with the attack. Mustangs trying to control it. And aren't able to. Point Mavericks. Number 3, Jane Sakowitz into the game now for the Mavericks. And she's back to serve.
Slowly. Pushing.
Dug up by Burmeister. Thompson over to Young. Blocked. Reese with the recovery. Garvey with the overpass attack by the Mavericks. Olivia Garvey with the kill. Sakowitz still serving now for the Mavericks. Dug up by Burmeister. Thompson. Over to Smith. Sent over. Now to Garvey. And Olivia Garvey with the big right hand for the Mavericks. Timeout, Southwest Minnesota State. Mavericks put the lead down to 7. Out of the timeout. Number 3, Jane Sakowitz serving for the Mavericks. As they trail the Mustangs in this third set, 22-15. Mavericks looking to get back into it. Ref once again checking on something for the Southwest Minnesota State Mustangs, but able to resume play here. Up to Young. Angela Young with the kill there for the Mustangs. Back into the game now for the Mustangs. Number 2, Sydney Amzabet. She's back to serve. Dug up by Beltman. Lowry over to Garby. Dug up. Set by Amzabet. Over to Reese. Good dig there by Quam. Lowry in the middle for Lee. And Ashton Lee. Able to find the back corner. Point Mavericks. Now back to serve for the Minnesota State Mavericks, number 12, Michaela Porter. Dug up by Burmeister. Set. Over to Reese, off hands. Controlled by Garby. Porter, back set to Olsen. Once again off hands, controlled by Amzabet. Reese has to pull one over as that one set tight to the net. Ashton Lee floats one over. Mustangs unable to get to it. Point Mavericks. Timeout Mustangs. Their lead's cut down to 5.
Hey fans, it's time to get on your feet and make some noise. And our speakers in the front of the
Another timeout. Number 12, Michaela Porter. Back to serve for the Mavericks. As they trail 17-22 in this third set. Up to Reese. Thompson back to Reese, and Taylor Reese with the kill for the Mustangs. Now Kaylee Burmeister. Back to serve for Southwest Minnesota State. Dug up by Garby. Porter back to Garby. Good dig there by Amzabet. Thompson over to Reese, off hands. Bellman unable to get to it. Reese with another kill. And now Southwest Minnesota State at set point. Burmeister to serve for this Mustang set point. Dug up by Garby. Porter up to Olsen. Dug up by the Mustangs over to Reese. Reese has to readjust and sends it over. Porter up to Garby, and Olivia Garby says not so fast. Point Mavericks.
73 Mavericks, number 5, Olivia Garby.
Now Garby back to serve for the Mavericks. Looking to stay in this third set. Both one short. Olivia Garvey with the ace. Dug up by Reese. Thompson right back to Reese. Reese floats one over. Dug up by Quam. Garvey in the middle for Porter. Porter has to send one over. Thompson back to Reese. And then with Thompson called for double contact. Point Mavericks. Now 3 in a row for Minnesota State. Trail only by 4. Garvey still serving. Dug up by Reese. Thompson in the middle for Lear. Diving dig by Porter. Quan able to save it. Back row attack from Garvey. Thompson up to Reese. Off hands. And Taylor Reese able to end this third set. Mustangs take it 25-20. They take a 2-1 lead over the Mavericks. Quick side change. We'll be back in 3 minutes for the fourth set.
We now offer local mortgage services. Contact mortgage director on home mortgages. Experience Brimsville, Minnesota for your next family business or shopping hours. Stay in one of Brimsville, Minnesota award-winning hotels and enjoy the dozens of restaurants and shopping options. Brimsville is your destination for Twin Cities fun. Visit BrimsvilleLanding.com. And finally, Milton, the official volleyball of the NSIC.
So just the basically like where they're serving a little bit of wire.
Taylor Reese leads the Mustangs
like,
23 kills.
Till the net.
Morgan Olson leads the Mavericks with 10 kills. Emma Thompson up to 44 kills for the Mustangs as Michaela Porter leads the Mavericks with 22 kills. Hanford Diggs, Mara Quam leads the Mavericks with 22. Aaron Corrigan, leads the Mustangs with 13. As we're underway in this fourth set, up to Olsen, dug up by Amsavet. Thompson up to Reese, and Taylor Reese with the kill. Point Mustangs.
So if you like start zooming in like before they start, then you will feel like you're moving with them.
Number 2, Sydney Amsavet, still serving. Ashton Lee floats one over, and able to get the kill there for the Mavericks.
I'll show you once how like I do it.
Now number 5, Olivia Garvey.
The side close to
Back
you.
to serve for the Minnesota State Mavericks.
So look, she started serving.
Dug up by Burmeister. Thompson, back set for Smith. Diving dig by Garvey, up to Quam, over to Feldman, overpass by the Mustangs. Back set by Porter over to Olsen, there to readjust. Mustangs there. Reese floats one over. Porter there, now up to Olsen. Olsen catches the line. Morgan Olsen with the kill. Great spot.
Just like this.
Point Mavericks.
Grace, he's ready for the serve. When
Now
you
number
feel
5, Olivia
she's
Garvey.
moving to serve,
Once again,
like
back to
go
serve.
slowly so that you can feel she's moving with the ball.
Floats one short, diving dig there by Burmeister. Thompson over to Reese, off hands. Controlled by the Mavericks. Porter backs up to Olsen. And Morgan Olsen with the kill.
Yes, Robert.
3 straight points now for the Mavericks. Garvey continuing to serve now for Minnesota State. Dug up by Burmeister. Thompson backside to Smith. Mavericks able to keep it alive. Feldman sends one over. Thompson back to Smith again.
Yeah.
Garvey's there, and the someone back, and Garvey on the back row has to pull one over. Thompson up to Reese.
Yeah.
Off hands and on a
Yeah.
play. Taylor Reese with another kill. Now up to 25 kills on the night. Taylor Reese.
Yes, Robert.
Now number 8, Kaylee Burmeister, back to serve for the Mustangs. Feldman able to save it. Quan running over by the scores table.
Yeah.
And able to keep it in play. Point Mustangs. Shipman back in for the Mavericks. Burmeister once again back to serve for the Mustangs. Overpass by Garvey. Point Mustangs.
Yeah, no, Rachel
Burmeister.
was trying that, so that's why.
With Garvey. In the middle for Lee now. Diving dig by Reese. Sent over by Lear. Into the net. Point Mavericks. Now number 11, Mark Wam.
All right,
Back to serve for the Mavericks.
all right, Robert.
Dug up by Antoinette. Thompson over to Reese. Good dig there by Quam. Garvey up to Shimon. Shimon hits long.
All right, Robert.
Point Mustangs. Now back to serve for the Mustangs, number 5, Emma Thompson. Thompson serves it wide. Service error on her. Point Mavericks. Now number 7, Lauren Lowry back in the game for Mavericks. She heads back to serve. Dug up by Burmeister. Thompson in the middle for Reese. And Taylor Reese having herself a night in Mankato. Now back to the service line, number 1, Taylor Reese for the Mustangs. That one sends long. Point Mavericks. All tied up at 6 in this 4th set. Now number 3, Jane Sakowicz into the game for the Mavericks. She is back to the service line. Sends it away to Reese. Now we're by Schmidt. Dug up. Lowry in the middle for Janzig off the block. Floats one over. Mustangs there. Thompson backside to Schmidt. Lowry up to Garvey now. Mustangs able to save it. Sent it over. Schindler. Lowry in the middle for Janzig. Mustangs able to save it. Free ball off the tape. Diving dig there by Quam. Back set to Schindler. Off hands. Controlled. Thompson. Up to Young. Off hands. Controlled there by Sakowicz. Now over to Garvey. And Olivia Garvey with the kill for the Mavericks. Great rally there. One there by the Mavericks. Now Sakowicz once again back to serve. To Young. In the middle off for Lear. Dug up there by Lowry. Quam. Over to Garvey. That's the full one over. Diving dig by Young. Thompson in the middle for Reese. Back row attack is dug up. Sent up to Garvey now. Garvey hits long. Hoping for a touch. She won't get it. Point Mustangs.
Serving for the Mustangs, number 7,
Now back to serve for the Mustangs, number 7, Peyton Jerlin. Dug up by Quam, over to Garvey now. Garvey off hands and down, point Mavericks.
Serving for the Mavericks.
Now back to serve for the Mavericks, number 16, Anissa Janzik. Dug up there by Burmeister. Thompson up to Young, off hands and down. Point Mustangs. Angela Young gets her 11th kill of the night. And now back to serve for the Mustangs. Number 9, Meg Schmidt. Dug up there by Garvey now. Lowry back to Garvey. Dug up by Reese. Thompson up to Young, gets blocked. Mustangs there. Up to Young, floats again and gets blocked. One more time to Young. Off of Sakowitz. Quam able to get to it for the Mavericks. Free ball over by the Mavericks. Now that attack gets dug up. Sent to Garvey. Off hands and Olivia Garvey with the kill. Great hustle there by the Mavericks. And Minnesota State will get that point. Another great rally. And now back to serve for the Mavericks, number 12, Michaela Porter. Taken there. Up to Thompson. Now to Young, and Angela Young off hands. Point Mustangs. Now back to the game for Southwest Minnesota State, number 2, Sydney Amsvet, and she's back to serve for the Mustangs. Amsvet with the ace, as Quan couldn't control it. Mustangs take a 10-9 lead here in this fourth set. Amsvet with another ace. Timeout, Minnesota State. Timeout. Number 2, Sydney Ansabet. Serve for the Mustangs. As they lead it 2-1 in this fourth set up 10-9. Dug up there by Quam. Porter. Back set to Garvey. Had to readjust. Dug up by the Mustangs. Up to Reese. Reese gets blocked. And on a play. Point Mavericks. Now back to serve for the Mavericks, number 5, Olivia Garvey. Dug up there by Burmeister, back set. Smith, and Serena Smith with the kill for the Mustangs. It's number 8, Kaylee Burmeister back to the service line for Southwest Minnesota State. Taken there by Quam. Porter in the middle for Olsen. Mustangs at the net there. Point Mavericks. Now back to serve for Minnesota State, number 11, Mara Kwam. Taken there by Burmeister. Thompson middle for Reese. Reese falls one number. Diving kick there by Kwam. Porter able to save it. Back row attack there by Garvey. Thompson up to Reese again, off hands. And down. Point Mustangs, Taylor Reese. Up to 28 kills on the night. Now back to serve. Number 5, Emma Thompson. Dug up there by Bellman. Set for Olsen, off hands. Down to play. Point Mavericks. Now back in the game, number 7, Lauren Lowry, and she's back to serve for the Mavericks. Back up there by Reeves. Thompson. Up to Schmidt. That gets blocked by Schindler. And Dana Schindler with the block gets the point for the Mavericks. All tied up at 13 here in this fourth set. Lowry continuing to serve now for the Mavericks. Taken there by Reese. Thompson in the middle for Reese. Reese pushes it long. Darby there for the Mavericks. Up to Bellman. Tight to the net. She couldn't get it over. Point Mustangs. Now number 1, Taylor Reese. Back to serve for Southwest Minnesota State. Sends it up to Bellman. Bellman with the overpass. And Lear with the kill for the Mustangs. Timeout, Mavericks.
Yeah, he said like he need a little bit of practice, so he wants some experienced person to like do this practice. Yeah, he told me that. No. I don't know. He said like he didn't say it was terrible, but he told like he told me to do it, and like he told you to watch it, and like you need a little bit of practice and stuff.
Out of a timeout. Mustangs lead the Mavericks 15-13 in this fourth set. Taylor Reese back to serve. Dug up by Garvey. Lowry backs up for Janzig. Plays it off the block, and a miss with Janzig gets the kill for the Mavericks. Now back to serve for Minnesota State, number 20, Joey Beltman. Dug up there by Reeves. Thompson over to Schmidt. Off of Kwam. Beltman running over there. Lowry has to send one over. Taken there by Reeves. Thompson. Once again to Schmidt. Off hands. Controlled by Beltman. Kwam. Up to Darby. Off the block. Controlled by the Mustangs. Sent over by Schmidt once again. And Schmidt, third time's the charm there for the Mustangs. Now back into the game for Southwest Minnesota State. Number 7, Peyton Jerlin. She's back to serve. Dug up by Garvey. Lowry in the middle for Janzig. Dug up to Schmidt. It's blocked. Mustangs reset. Over to Young. Young gets blocked. They fire once again. Gets through. Dug up there by Kwam. Running over there is Lowry. Push out a play by Garvey. Point Mustangs. Turlet once again back to serve for the Mustangs. Dug up by Quam. Lowry up to Garby. Garby off the block. And Olivia Garby gets the kill for the Mavericks. Now back to serve for the Mavericks, and there's 16, and this is Janzik. Dug up there by Reese. Thompson in the middle for Smith. That gets dug up by Schindler. Now up to Garby. Garby gets it through, and Olivia Garby with another kill for the Mavericks. Janzik once again back to serve. Dug up by Reese. Thompson back to Young. Young gets it through. Point Mustangs. Now back to serve for the Mustangs, number 9, Meg Schmidt. Taken there by Garby. Lowry in the middle for Lee. Has to try to poke one over. Unable to. Point Mustangs. There's miscommunication there between Lowry and Lee. Schmidt once again back to serve. Taken there by Sakowitz. Now Quam up to Garby. Has to roll shot it over. Controlled. Back row attack from Reese. Sakowitz up to Garby now. Dug up. Thompson over to Young. Angela Young with the kill. Point Mustangs. Southwest Minnesota State up by 4 now in this fourth set. Dug up by Sakowitz. Over to Garby now, and Olivia Garby feeling it in this fourth set. Point Mavericks. Now back in the game, number 12, Michaela Porter. And she's back to serve for the Mavericks. Dug up there by Burmeister. Back row attack by Reed, sent into the net. Point Mavericks. Quick timeout, Southwest Minnesota State.
Hey, a reminder of please keep the staff members behind the scores table at the conclusion of today's volleyball match. Celebrating the podium.
Out of the timeout.
Thank you.
Mavericks trail 2018 in this fourth set. And also trailed 2 sets to 1. Looking to force a 5th set here. Michaela Porter serving for the Mavericks. Dug up there by Burmeister. Thompson up to Young. Good dig there by Quam. Porter up to Garby. Great dig there by Reese. Set for Young. And sent over. Porter in the middle for Lee. Mustangs there for it. Double contact. Ball on the Mustangs. Point Mavericks. Michaela Porter continuing to serve now. Costly error there. Point Mustangs. Now Southwest Minnesota State just 4 points away from taking this match. Number 2, Sydney Amtvet back to serve for the Mustangs. Taken there by Garby. Back set for Olsen. Off hands, controlled. Up to Reese now. Off of Quam. Sakowitz over to Quam, and Quam sends a free ball. Thompson back to Smith, controlled there by the Mavericks. Up to Garby now, off the block, controlled. Ashton Lee Able to poke one over, point Mavericks.
Serving for your Mavericks, number 5, Olivia Garby.
Now back to serve for the Mavericks, number 5, Olivia Garby. Taken there by Antvet, now in the middle for Reese. Dug up by Kwam, Beltman able to run for it. And Garby sends one over. Thompson, back to Reese, and Reese gets blocked. But out of play. Point Mustangs. Good attempt, but blocked there. But the point goes to Southwest Minnesota State. It's number 8, Kaylee Burmeister. Back to serve for the Mustangs. Taken there by Garby. In the middle for Lee. Controlled by the Mustangs. Thompson up to Reese. Good kick there by Garby. Porter. Over to Feldman, and Jody Feldman gets the kill. Point Mavericks. Number 11, Lamar Kwam. Back to serve for Minnesota State. Trying to keep the Mavericks in it here. Taken there by Burmeister. Thompson up to Reese. Reese hits long, but off the deflection. Point Mustangs. Now back to serve, number 5, Emma Thompson. Dug up by Garby. Porter, backside for Olsen. And Morgan Olsen with the kill. Mavericks battling here in this 4th set, trying to stay alive. Now back into the game. Number 7, Lauren Lowry. And she's back to serve for the Mavericks. Timeout, Mustangs.
Hey fans, once again, it's time to get on your feet and make some noise. The Mavs we want to thank Domino's for their continued support of Maverick Athletics.
On the timeout, Mustangs clinging to a 1-point lead here in this 4th set. Mavericks trying to stay alive, force a 5th set. Lauren Lowry serving. Thompson, back to Reese. Good dig there by Kwam. Lowry, able to get to Garby. Garby sends the free ball over. Thompson, backside to Reese again. Overpass by Lowry and out of play. Point Mustangs. Now match point for Southwest Minnesota State. Who else but Taylor Reese going to serve for the Mustangs. Off of Garby. Kwam able to save it. Schindler able to send it over. Reese to Thompson. Back to Schmidt. And Schmidt gets the kill. Point Mustangs. Match Mustangs. Southwest Minnesota State defeats Minnesota State 3-1 here tonight. First set went to Mankato, 25-22. Then the Mustangs took second set, 25-13. Third set, 25-20, and that 4th set, 25-22. Taylor Reese led the Mustangs in kills with 30 tonight. Just dominant. Olivia Garvey and Morgan Olson tied for 15 kills for the Mavericks. Assists tonight for Southwest Minnesota State. Emma Thompson dished out 57, while Michaela Porter at 28 for the Mavericks. And for Diggs, Mark Quam at 35 for the Mavericks. Aaron Corrigan at 19 for the Mustangs. Mavericks are back in action tomorrow afternoon, against Sioux Falls at 2 p.m.